Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium for tonight's men's basketball contest between the Eagles of Benedictine University and the Cougars of Concordia University, Chicago. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups first for the visiting Eagles. At guard, a 6'1" sophomore from Elmhurst, number 5, Nick Kosic. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Chicago, number 10, Michael Johnson. At forward, a 6'4" senior from Countryside, number 12, Chris Hester. At forward, a 6'5" freshman from Roselle, number 20, Trevor Montiel. And at guard, a 6'3" junior from Shanahan, number 23, Kyle Gravener. The assistant coaches are Nick Radankovich, Frank Janzak, and Richard Krupa. And the head coach of the Eagles is Keith Bunkenberg. And now, here are the starters for your Concordia Chicago Cougars. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Chicago, number 12, Jordan Matthews. At guard, a 6'3" junior from St. Joseph, Michigan, number 14, Isaac Ruddle. At forward, a 6'2" freshman from Wheaton, number 23, Emmanuel Wilson. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Bensonville, number 15, KJ Kenta-Jones. And at guard, a 6' senior from Maywood, number 30, Dwayne Burns. The assistant coaches are Matt Nalke, Jordan Foster, and Kevin Howard. And the head coach of the Cougars is Steve Kohler.
Good evening and welcome to this presentation of Concordia University Chicago Athletics. The Cougars in their first home game of the 2021 season as they take on the Eagles of nearby Benedictine University. Thanks for joining us this evening for Cougars basketball. I'm Alex Campbell alongside Macy Klein. And Macy, a momentous evening here at the Geisman Gymnasium as finally the Cougars men get a chance to kick off their season here on their own home turf.
It's good to be back, Alex, in Geisman Gymnasium where the Cougars take on Benedictine. It's going to be a tough battle tonight, and I'm sure we're all excited to see these two teams hit the court.
Each of these teams only having played one game this season. They are 0-1 each respectively. The Cougars lost to DePauw last week, 83-47, in a really tough outing they'll be looking to come back from. Well, Benedictine has had a couple weeks off since their opening loss of the season to Trine University. To contest the opening tip, this is Emmanuel Wilson against Chris Hester. And we are underway as things are controlled by Benedictine and Michael Johnson running the point here on this opening possession. Johnson handing off there for Gravener. Gravener watched by Wilson. Back for Johnson. Hester's pass taken away. Turnover forced by Isaac Riddell. Kenta-Jones. Bit of a shift tonight in the Cougars lineup. We'll get to that in a moment. Spinning into the lane is Matthews. Matthews, a lot of contact. Couldn't get the layup to go. Rebound pulled down and going the other way is Nick Kosic. Johnson will drive the baseline. Turning outside. Kosic, catch, fake, into the lane, and nowhere to go. Back to Johnson. Gravener. Solid defense being played here by the Cougars. Kosic. Kittel wants that three, goes inside instead. Spinning, trying to get to the basket off the glass, and no good, but a foul is called. That was Trevor Montiel going up, and we have our first foul of the evening. Fouls against number 14, Isaac Riddell, his first. Macy, one thing to look at tonight, Dwayne Burns Jr., the senior number 30, making his first start of his Concordia career in his 4th year, so big evening for him tonight.
Coach Kohler really talks him up a lot, as he is described as the spark plug of the team. Goes out, makes a play, may not get the playing time that he wants or necessarily that he needs, but he is a spark plug on the team and can get the team going really quick.
We got a foul called, and the ball's going to be underneath. And it looks like Benedictine, no, just a foul shot, so we will redo the second free throw. Montiel, a freshman, had a really strong debut in the first Benedictine game of the season. A double-double, 16 points and 11 rebounds in that loss to Trine. Montiel second. No good. And after some confusion there, Riddell able to control things and hand back to Kenta Jones. Macy, this is a matchup that Benedictine has absolutely dominated over the years. In 38 meetings, they are 32-6. So this would be a big accomplishment, especially early in the year, for the Cougars to pull this upset tonight.
Absolutely. And last year during the 2019-2020 season,
Riddell off the mark there. Sorry, you were saying?
the Cougars and the Eagles tied with their record as they won a game and Cougars won a game. So it's going to be a tiebreaker tonight and tomorrow. We'll see what all happens.
That win last year, only one win for the Cougars in their last 10 in this series. 1-9 over that span, and as Macy mentioned, splitting last season, about as good of the results as I've ever gotten for the Concordia University Cougars in this matchup. Only 1 point on the board, just under 2 minutes into this one. Inside, Kosic. Watched there by Riddell. Double team, bounce pass inside. And unable to adjust. I think he thought more contact was coming there, Chris Hester. It never came, but Concordia threw the ball away. A misplaced pass from Kenta Jones in the direction of Jordan Matthews. And those kind of mistakes, especially early in a game like this, not something the Cougars can probably afford, knowing that they're going to be fighting uphill likely in this matchup.
Yes, absolutely.
Kosic, right wing. Top of the key, this is Hester. Hester, Kosic, long two, baseline is good, and the first field goal of the game from number 5, Nick Kosic.
One thing Coach Kohler touched up upon is Benedictine's screens throughout their offense, cutting through the middle, so really cutting off those screens, cutting off baseline drives, baseline cuts through the paint, everything.
Kicking outside here. This is Wilson kicking out. Kenta Jones for 3. Not quite on the roll. Rebound pulled down by Johnson. Quickly the other way come Benedictine, and we're going to get a foul. And I think it's going to be Emmanuel Wilson who's the guilty party. Let's see what the referee signals. No, that's my mistake. They're going to call it on Dwayne Burns, his first. And we have our first sub of the game. As checking in is number 1, Justin Greenlee, freshman out of Brown Deer, Wisconsin. Started the last game, but the first man off the bench tonight. Johnson to inbound for Benedictine, out to Kosic. Back inside, down low, Hester backdoor, couldn't finish it off. It's going to be off the Cougars last. Lucky, though, to escape there without a basket. And maybe the Cougars need to tamp things down there underneath on defense. Early on already, Macy, we're seeing the big freshman Trevor Montiel be a pivot in the middle of this offense.
Even as a freshman, I mean, he doesn't even look like a freshman playing down there. Big guy, really knows how to move.
Matthews off the glass and good for the first points of the night for the Cougars. Quickly the way go comes Johnson. Johnson off the glass with an immediate response for Benedictine. And all of a sudden, the tempo picking up here. Back the other way comes Matthews, runs into a bunch of trouble. It's going to be a jump ball. And possession will stay with the Cougars on account of them having lost the opening tip-off. Another sub coming in. Number 24. That's number 24, Colin Mergel for Benedictine. And number 3, William Bishop Green, checking in along with Joel Childers for the Cougars. In the lane here, fighting through contact, can't get it to go. That's Riddell. But the Cougars get their own rebound.
Good take by Riddell, getting the defender off the ground for a put-in.
Riddell cleaning up his own trash on that one. Good effort play there to follow his own shot. Kosic, all the way across. Jumping the lane, there goes Montiel, runs out of room and has it knocked away by Wilson. Wilson flying the other way for the Cougars, spinning into the lane, loses the handle, loose ball, picked up by Greenlee, who's able to hit for two. A nice little run by the Cougars, and it's a timeout for Benedictine.
Benedictine takes a timeout.
It's going to just be a 30-second timeout, so we will stay here. So may see a really kind of slow start through those opening minutes, but all of a sudden, over the last 2 or so, this game has really come alive with both teams showing how dangerous they can be with their speed in transition.
Definitely. Both teams have done a great job in transition so far, offensively and defensively. Cougars are doing a great job of picking up ball early. Yes, we got a foul by Dwayne Burns early on. Good stop, though. Way to pick up the ball early. Benedictine doing the same thing. We just got to keep it rolling.
This Concordia squad, Macy, has really been decimated this season, as many schools have, by the COVID protocols, contact tracing. Isaac Riddell, though, looking at just the stats from last year, stands out as a guy who's really going to be asked to be a leader. And we've already seen that in this game with not only the fact that he's always looking for the ball on every offensive possession, but that he's a great hustle player, as we saw in the offensive glass on that last possession.
Yes, absolutely. He had an amazing season last year. It is hard to kind of adapt to a younger team like he is doing here for the Cougars.
Johnson into the lane. That's a great pass to find Mergel flying in. But again, we've seen early here, Benedictine struggling to finish these layups, and that's going to be a block. A lot of contact. Jordan Matthews crashes to the floor. Cougars will maintain possession, but Matthews telling the referee that his left wrist took plenty of contact in addition to the ball. 24 still on the shot clock for the Cougars. Number 1, Justin Greenlee, will do the honors of inbounding. Greenlee lobbing that one into Bishop Green. Back underneath goes Matthews on the block, turning, can't get it to go. Johnson defending and grabs the rebound. Again, quick in transition come Benedictine. Johnson, offensive foul! William Bishop Green, the freshman with the selfless play, takes the charge, and that gets the first real cheer of the night from this small crowd in the bench gathered here at Concordia. Lots of teammates up on the far side. As I mentioned, limited fans here tonight at Geisman Gymnasium. Big play there from the freshman, though, Bishop Green. Cougars lead 6-5 here early going. Alex Campbell and Macy Klein with you here for Cougars basketball, the first of 3 games over the next 2 evenings. Inside, this is Burns. Burns handing back to Matthews. Matthews, Greenlee drives the lane, kicking late, was looking for Bishop Green, but in the end it falls into the hands there of Gravener. Johnson looking down low. Mergel able to turn, and that is rejected by William Bishop Green, having a big couple possessions on the defensive end, the freshman. .22 still to shoot for the Eagles. Michael Johnson inbound. Mergel had it knocked away, though. Burns, nothing but open court in front of him. Burns down the lane, off the glass, and good.
And there's Coach Kohler's spark plug.
Dwayne Burns Jr. gets his first points. His season high, his career high from last year is 5 points in a game, so already a good start there. Bishop Green forces another turnover. This time it's Childers for the layup off the glass, too strong. Contact there, but referee said it was all fair. Johnson the other way, kicking. Kosic, catch, wanted to shoot, didn't have his feet set. Kosic turning in the lane, lost it for a second. Back to Johnson. A lot of energy right now from this Cougar squad. Johnson kicking, knocked away. Childers gets a hand on, and it's another steal for Bishop Green. 4 in a row defensively. Off the glass, no good. Too strong there from Jordan Matthews. Quickly the other way come the Eagles. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Kosic will pull up for 3 and airball it. Gravener keeps it in. Back down low. Johnson on the block against Bishop Green, who this time can't force the turnover. Takes the foul. It'll be free throws, but what a run of defensive possessions here for William Bishop Green.
A lot of great hustle plays for both Benedictine and CUC here.
This is William Bishop Green's college debut. The freshman did not play in the first game of the season, so making quite the impression so far. Number 3. 2 shots upcoming here from Michael Johnson. The junior transfer. Johnson hits the first.
As you mentioned earlier, Alex, it's hard to adjust to such a young team, but it really does help when you've got freshmen that are willing to step up and hustle their butt off and do everything they can to help this team, even though they are so young and they have a disadvantage. They're using that to their advantage.
Johnson unable to make the second, as we've seen two more subs. Cade Ellingson and Walter Taylor are in the game for Benedictine. Cougars by 2. 6 minutes gone here in the first half. Matthews exchanging there with Greenlee. Now this is Burns. Burns into the lane, off the glass, no good. That was number 15, Taylor, doing the defending, getting the rebound, and then drawing a foul. And the foul is going to be called, they just called white 2-0, but there isn't a white 2-0. So I'm going to assume the foul is on Dwayne Burns, which would be his second. Kosic running the point now. Excuse me, no, this is Justin Greenlee. Sorry, Keegan Gravener. Mixed up my sheets for a second. Everybody in red as Johnson gets his first break of the night. Johnson averaged 32 minutes a game last year, so we will see him on the floor far more often than not. Kosic driving, a lot of contact, foul on the floor, says the referee, and it's going to be against Riddell. No, excuse me, they're going to call it on Jordan Matthews, and it's a couple possessions in a row where, not sure I agree with the player assigned the foul, but no matter, that is Matthews second into Kosic. Down low here, on the block, turning. Taylor able to score his first points of the night.
Walter Taylor.
Something we're seeing here early, Macy, is that Benedictine knows they've got a size advantage on the Cougars, and they're looking to exploit that on offense.
They know they're playing against a young team, not necessarily as physically developed as obviously they are. Big bodies down here for Benedictine, and they're taking advantage of it.
For three, in and out, rebound by Wilson, puts it right back up and in. Emmanuel Wilson for two more, restoring the Cougars' lead.
Cougars retake the lead at 10-8.
And I believe that's the second time tonight, Macy, we've seen second chance points there for the Cougars. One of those statistical categories that correlates so strongly with winning. Gravener, down low. This is Taylor looking to turn again, kicking it out. Kosic. Gravener, all the way around, catching, shooting. Ellingson for three, came up short, rebound. Fought for, loose. Kosic comes up with it, fresh shot clock. All the way across. Gravener, defended there by Kenta Jones. Gravener wanted to go back to Taylor, it wasn't there. Jump shot from the D is too strong. Jones getting in there, ball loose, fought for, kept in by Kenta Jones.
Great defensive possession done by the Cougars.
Jones getting it back. What hustle to basically run around the pile of players there and keep it in on the other side. Burns. Riddell, back for Burns, driving the lane, kicking. Wilson, corner three is good! Emmanuel Wilson from the corner, and it's a 5-point lead for the Cougars. Largest lead either team has had in the early goings of this matchup. Kosic, inside, looking for Montiel. Montiel on the block, over Wilson, that's too easy. It's 6'5", the freshman, bossing his way around. What he does not have for an experience, he is making up for in physical size so far in the first half. Russell, kicking to the corner. Matthews will try a three, no good this time. Rebound pulled down by Kosic. Looking down low, this is Taylor working on the block, big size advantage, and he can't get it to go. Standing his ground was Kenta Jones, 5'7" of him, giving up 10 inches. But coming out on top there, here is Jones, driving the lane, kicking to the corner, catch and shoot, and it is no good there from Riddell. Ball knocked loose though, and the Cougars come up with it. And that's going to be a foul for a push in the back there by Cade Ellingson, his first. We've had one timeout from Benedictine after a brief early run by the Cougars. And we will now get our second timeout, and we will take a quick break here. We'll be back in 30 seconds here at Geisman Gymnasium. Welcome back. Cougars 13, Eagles 10. Alex Campbell alongside sophomore shooting guard for the Cougars women's basketball team, Macy Klein, here with you. Thanks for joining us, spending your Friday evening with Concordia basketball. So far, so good for the Cougars in what has not been a rivalry in their favor in recent years. A chance to flip the script tonight. And that's a travel. That's Jordan Smith's first involvement of the evening, and unfortunately his foot just slipped on him there, and it'll be a turnover. Schmidt, a sophomore guard from Noblesville, Indiana, didn't play last year. This is his second appearance for the Cougars. Ellingson. Hester handing off to number 22. That's Nate Shedd, unable to get it to go. Kenta Jones, Wilson, hop step into the lane. Nice finish. What a move by Emmanuel Wilson, cutting between defenders.
15-10, Cougars.
Wilson now with 5 points. Shedd into the lane, pulling up. The floater doesn't go. Rebound fought for, and it's going to be a foul called. And they're going to call it on Emmanuel Wilson. That's his first. Kenta Jones replaced here by Justin Greenlee. Macy, I think we're going to see a lot of those contested rebounds because so often what we're seeing is one taller Benedictine player swarmed by 3 or 4 smaller Cougars, and they're all just trying to get a fingertip on it to knock it loose.
Definitely. Lots of crashing the boards on both the offensive side and defensive side for both teams.
Gabe Elias into the game for the first time as well. Bishop Green. Greenlee. Over to Wilson, 10 to shoot. And that is knocked away, regathered, loose ball. Still loose. Bishop Green will pull up, leave it short, and almost get his own rebound. Does, keeps it in play, but it goes into the hands there of Kate Ellingson. Quickly the other way, odd man rush. Down low, off the glass, and one for Hester. Fouls again on Emmanuel Wilson, who's quickly picked up 2 here, and Hester will go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play. We have more substitutions as back in come Jordan Matthews and Joel Childers. Wilson, with his 2 fouls, will head to the bench, as will Gabe Elias. Hester to the line, a 70% free throw shooter last season. And gets it to go. We'll say one of the weaknesses, Macy, of this Benedictine team, they only shot 62% from the free throw line last season. So if they're going to have to go to the line to win this game, Concordia might be fine with that as long as they themselves can avoid any players getting in too serious of foul trouble.
Absolutely, and getting in foul trouble early will not look good for the Cougars, as you mentioned.
Especially with a shorter bench than they'd like to have. The Eagles have about 25 players here tonight, so depth not going to be an issue. That's a foul called on number 4, Marvin Aguamo. His first. He's just checked into the game for the first time. One half of a set of 2 sets of brothers on this Benedictine roster. We've got the Aguamo brothers, Marvin and Kevin, along with the Gravener brothers, Keegan and Kyle. Greenlee slicing into the lane, lost his footing, and don't think it would have mattered much. That ball was headed out of bounds, but it's a travel.
The Cougars have done a great job this game of getting into the lane more. Against their game against DePaul, they missed a ton of outside shots. Most of them were contested, but they're getting good looks into the lane, and hopefully they'll get some open looks outside as the game progresses as well.
Things have definitely been best so far for the Cougars when things are in transition rather than these set pieces, which allow the Eagles to work their offense, and that's a nice jumper from Nate Shedd for 2, the senior from Aurora.
Nate Shedd.
Greenlee to the corner. Childers. Matthews around. Back to Riddell, who's back in the game now. Matthews. Riddell will pull up from the wing for 3. No good. Rebound kicks way out to Shedd, who's got floor in front of him. To the ground there went Burns. Shedd dishes to nobody, and it's a turnover. And a wasted opportunity there with an odd man rush in transition. And the Concordia coaching staff with some words for the referees, particularly head coach Steve Kohler.
As you mentioned earlier, both teams are doing a great job in transition. That was huge for the Cougars.
And back in comes Emmanuel Wilson. He's been the biggest spark on offense so far. 8:15 to go here in the first half. Wilson back in with his 2 fouls. Jordan Matthews handing off there to Burns. Into the lane goes Wilson. Kicking out. Burns. Nowhere to go. Burns back here for Matthews. Matthews, long 3, top of the key. Can't get the roll. Rebound pulled down there by Michael Johnson, who is back in the game. Johnson running the floor all the way. Johnson to the hoop, off the glass, gets the foul, and he'll head to the line. And some communication talking there. Looked like Wilson and Burns not quite on the same page on that defensive assignment. And Emmanuel Wilson has just picked up his 3rd foul.
Team 7th.
At least I thought it was his 3rd. The scores table just said 2nd, but
Shots for number 10, Michael Johnson.
excuse me, just checking a few things there. Live stats just a little behind, so trying to reconcile what's on my sheet with what's on the screen. Johnson, 2nd free throw is good. And back into the lead go the Eagles with under 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
Eagles regain the lead at 16-15.
Macy, feels like Concordia just needs a spark here. It feels like the offense has gone a little flat.
Definitely loss of communication on the Cougars' side. In need of a little more energy to get this game going for the Cougars.
And Riddell took 3 steps there through the lane. That's another turnover. We're seeing these mental mistakes start to pile up here as this first half goes on. Trevor Montiel comes back into the game for the Eagles. We've got another buzz as back in comes Kenta Jones for the Cougars. He'll replace Joel Childers.
Cougars are finally starting to press, hopefully to get a little more ball pressure going on the Eagles.
Again, not wanting, as we talked about a couple minutes ago, the Eagles to easily be able to set up their half-court offense. Things, as we said, have not gone well for Concordia once the Eagles get set. Johnson down the lane, slipped and traveled. Bit of a slick surface, it seems like, out there tonight. We've seen both teams do that on a couple of occasions. Pivot foot's just kind of going flying. Pressure coming here from Ellingson, but he'll now drop off from Kenta Jones. Jones back for Riddell. Riddell will try driving in. Man goes down, offensive foul. Montiel hit the floor, drew the foul, and Riddell picks up another personal. And checking in is William Bishop Green very quickly. It's now 8 fouls on the Cougars, which means that any fouls against them the rest of this half will result in some sort of free throws. Suppose that would have been true already as Johnson lost that ball out of bounds.
Great defensive pressure by Kenta Jones here.
Another one of those plays where Concordia know what they lack in physical size they can make up for in defensive effort. As checking in here is Connor Riley for the first time today, along with Nick Kosic.
Cougars do have some speedy players on the floor right now. Hopefully they can utilize that and use that to their advantage in both on the offensive side and defensive side.
Kenta Jones out for Burns, back for Jones. Burns with 15 on the shot clock. Wilson around here for Matthews. Top of the key, Bishop Green thought about the 3, drives instead. Weaving, kicks back out, Burns for 3. No good off the mark. Rebound hits the floor and is picked up by Ellingson. Ellingson almost lost it there, able to find Montiel. Montiel out for Riley. Riley, Hester. Taking their time here, Benedictine, that's knocked away. And it will stay with the Eagles, 14 on the shot clock. Low scoring first half here so far. Last year, Concordia averaged 80 points a game. Benedictine averaged 75. But as to be expected with the long delay to start the season and the lack of minutes so far, everybody's going to be a little bit off as this is Kosic for three. Too strong. Rebound bounces around and just falls into the arms of Montiel. I don't even know if he saw it coming, but right place, right time for the freshman to extend the Benedictine lead to three.
Eagles lead 18-15.
Kenta Jones. Why not? Bishop Green for three leaves it short. And I think Coach Kohler might want to see his guys work for slightly better shots than that. Kosic cutting. Hester, contact. And he'll go to the line. Bishop Green doing what he needed to make sure that ball did not go in the basket. A selfless foul there, his second.
If the Cougars want to stay in this game offensively, really need to cut down on the one-and-done shots. It's just going to put the Eagles in a better position to go down in transition and get an easy bucket.
Two more Cougars getting ready to check in are Kieran Heller. And I can't see who the other is. It's going to be number 11, Gabe Elias. So with Kieran Heller checking in, all the available players tonight for Concordia have seen the floor. 12 total tonight. And like I said, it's a bit of a mismatch going the other way, as there are 19 players available tonight for Benedictine. Into the lane, spinning. Riley wanted a backdoor pass. It wasn't there. Montiel has Hester. Hester on the block now. 8 to shoot. Hester spinning, running into a double team, and a foul on the floor. They're going to get Bishop Green, I think, again. And that is the third foul on the freshman. And we mentioned setting them to the free throw line is all well and good if you don't get individual players racking up too many fouls. Jordan Schmidt is checking in for the Cougars at the scorer's table. Hester makes the first. Double bonus time now that it was the 10th team foul of the half against the Cougars. And Schmidt will replace Bishop Green. Schmidt, who in his final 2 years of high school in Noblesville, Indiana, led his conference in both assists and steals. As the second one is no good from Hester. Rebound pulled down by Emmanuel Wilson. Matthews here as Concordia trails by 4. This is the most they've trailed by in the game. It's been a closely run affair. Largest lead either way was Cougars by 5. Cutting into the lane. Corner pulling up for 3. No good there from Gabe Elias. Rebound fought for, but Montiel able to ward off shorter defenders. Quickly the other way, this is Riley. Riley, Kosic, looking down low, just throws it into his space. What a move by Hester. He wasn't even open when he threw that pass, but his hand went up, and his teammate found him perfectly. What an inside positioning play there by Chris Hester.
One more step for Matthews on the help line, and it would have been theirs.
Into the lane, floater does not go. Jordan Matthews no good, and Concordia can't get anything going right now. Lead is now 6. Riley into the lane, he's fouled, and will go to the line to shoot 2 more. Foul is on number 0, Jordan Schmidt, his first.
Like you mentioned before, Alex, the Eagles have done a really good job of utilizing their body strength and just their shape and all to get in and get those shots and draw the foul to get to the line.
The last basket for the Cougars came with 10:18 to go in this half. That's almost fully 6 minutes ago. And that was a basket to make it 13-9. It is now 21-15 going the other way. A 12-2 run currently for Benedictine.
Benedictine looking to pressure a little bit more in the press.
Concordia just got to get something going here with Greenlee and now Wilson. Wilson, left wing, handing off. Matthews, Schmidt. Around now for Greenlee. Greenlee into the lane, kicking, that's knocked away. Houston keeps it in. Hester, excuse me. And a foul called against number 23. That's Wilson again. That's 4. I think. It will be 2 shots.
Fouls on number 23, Emmanuel Wilson is third.
Okay, scores table says third, so
Shots for number
my
5,
mistake, but still 3 fouls already for the freshman before halftime. Dwayne Burns Jr. is checked into the scorer's table, and I assume that is going to see Wilson return to the bench as the first free throw is off the mark from Nick Kosic, and that is the change. Dwayne Burns returning to the floor. Kosic's second is good. 8-point lead for the Eagles, who have dominated the last 10 minutes of this game. Greenlee down the lane, pulling up, floater, no. And still they go without a field goal. And that pass, errant and out of play from Kyle Graebner. It's a turnover, and more subs coming as back into the game come Joel Childers, and Kenta Jones. Meanwhile, it is Nate Shedd returning to the floor for Benedictine. This Benedictine program has some serious continuity, Macy. Keith Bunkenberg, the head coach. This is his 26th season at the helm of the Eagles, winning as coach in program history, and has seen them been a consistent success at both the conference and even national level with a handful of NCAA tournament appearances.
I mean, definitely has had a lot of time to improve all of his teams.
At the buzzer, shot clock winding down, no good. The 3 there from Childers. The lid remains on the basket. 3-on-2 the other way. Hester fakes, goes for the acrobatic finger roll, couldn't get it, and then that's knocked away, but a foul as Matthews went to the floor. Nate Shedd called for it, his first.
About time Benedictine starts picking up on some fouls.
Absolutely, as it's now over 7 minutes since the Cougars last hit a basket. Their last one at the 10-18 mark to lead 13-9. They now trail 15-24, largest lead of the game for the Eagles. Matthews into the lane. He'll try a 3, no good. Was looking for a foul. Loose ball picked up by Burns. First offensive rebound we've seen in what feels like forever. Burns fakes the kick, nowhere to go. Resetting here, Greenlee, Matthews. Top of the key now, Kenta Jones. Under 10 to shoot, Jones kicks out. Burns around, Childers running out of time. 3 to shoot, and it's picked off. 3-on-2 the other way. Here's Shedd into the lane, goes for the layup, no good. Rebound, second chance, no. Third chance is good. Laid in by Connor Riley. Time out, Concordia.
Timeout called by Concordia. 2:19 left.
And I think this is going to be a full timeout, so we will take a quick break here as we wind down the first half of play. And we are back 2:19 to go here at Geisman Gymnasium in the first half between the Cougars and the Eagles. Alex Campbell and Macy Klein with you here tonight. And this is a first half, Macy, that was low scoring, that was really physical and hard fought for the first 10 minutes. And so far in the second half of the first half, it has been all Eagles.
Seems as though energy on CUC's side has really died down a little bit. They came out hot. They were doing good with hustle plays. Another one by Kenta Jones. They just really need to pick up the intensity and the energy here.
I like the idea going for a backdoor pass there, but it wasn't there as Riley took it the other way and had it knocked away. Gabe Elias is back in the game. He will replace Joel Childers. Excuse me. In for Shed. Shed from the elbow is good. Nate Shed having himself a good first half. Kenta Jones, 13-point game now. What can the Cougars come up with before the break? Greenlee looking for somewhere to go. Nowhere to go. Matthews, 13 to shoot. Back for Greenlee in the corner.
Got to get it to the other side of the court.
Burns, one-on-one here. 7 to shoot. Burns spinning in the lane, kicking it out. Catching, shooting. Elias for 3, and it's good. How badly did Concordia need that? Their first field goal in almost 9 minutes has this down to a 10-point game. Kosic has the room to drive the lane, and he does off the glass, and good. That's just way too easy. No help defense there for Concordia. And they call another timeout. No, Benedictine's going to call the timeout, although I think Concordia will take it. Defensively there, Macy, those are the type of situations you just can't have. From where we are sitting, we saw Kosic get that ball and a clear highway to the basket. No surprise he was able to get that off the backboard for 2. Without a whole lot of problems.
The Eagles have done a great job this game of finishing through contact, getting those easy looks, getting those putbacks, out-rebounding the Cougars. That's how they're getting most of their points, is they're getting easy looks and getting really easy putbacks in the paint.
So far today, Benedictine shooting over 50%, 11 of 20 from the field. Concordia, contrastly, 7 of 13 shooting, and that kind of tells the difference so far in this one. We talked about rebounding, especially off air. We were talking about how this is a really tough rebounding matchup for the Cougars, and that's bearing out in the stats so far. 4-2 Benedictine on the offensive glass, 14-7 on the defensive glass.
It definitely is hard to compete against a team that's good at rebounding and transitioning. You gotta find that balance in between rebounding and getting back on transition.
Riley's was no good, but no basket as that ball was still above the cylinder. Concordia coach Steve Kohler still mad, though, as he knows it should have been 2 free points. Trevor Montiel needed to wait a half second more for that ball to fully roll up onto the rim as we are under a minute here in the first half. Eagles by 12. Justin Greenlee running the point on this possession for the Cougars. Greenlee behind the back, into the lane, nowhere to go. Outside, corner 3, Schmidt, no good. Rebound, fought for, and there it is, Elias picking up the offensive board. Kenta Jones, straight away for 3, gets the roll from downtown, and a little luck finally rolls the Cougars' way.
Way to be patient, a little risky of a shot there, but way to be patient for the Cougars.
Back down to a single-digit game, Montiel. Some energy here late in the first half for the Cougars. Shed for 3, it's good! An immediate response from Benedictine. Nate Shed from downtown. Shot clock is off, under 10 seconds to go. 6, 5, you can hear the players chanting on the Concordia bench. Kenta Jones pulling up for 3, and it's good! Kenta Jones, back-to-back 3 balls to end the first half on a high note. In what often was not a positive 20 minutes, Concordia can take that into the locker room. At the half, it is Benedictine 33, Concordia 24. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a couple minutes with some halftime thoughts. Welcome back here to the Geisman Gymnasium. Alex Campbell, Macy Klein with you here at halftime. The score, Benedictine 33, Cougars 24. And I think, Macy, I want to start with the way that half ended because it was competitive through the first, say, 10 minutes. Benedictine pulled ahead, but we saw a real spark there late in the first half, led by Kenta Jones. What did you make of the last 2 minutes or so where things really seemed to pick up for the Cougars?
As a player myself, it definitely helps when your bench is fired up. You hear them hyping you up, and you're just ready to go. I don't know where that was the rest of the half. Like you said, they came out pretty strong. Energy was really high. They kind of went up and down a little bit. They went into halftime with that energy, so hopefully they'll come out with that same energy. But yeah, definitely the bench really helps to fire you up in those situations for sure.
A big storyline, and we mentioned this on the broadcast throughout the first half, was the rebounding matchup. This Benedictine team is big. They are physical. They're a good rebounding side anyway. So from a player's perspective, when you find yourself in a game like that where you just feel like all the other players are taller than you and they're really presenting a challenge on the glass, what do you do in-game to try to adjust to that, to try to make up for the physical downside there, to just try to take some control and not allow second chance points?
Definitely against a team that has more of a size advantage and is more tough, like physically, showing your body more and just showing the refs like, hey, I'm here, I'm boxing out, I'm being physical, and hopefully getting, that over the back call or getting that reaching foul, especially because like a team like the freshmen out here, they don't even look like freshmen, they look like seniors. It's hard to do that, especially with a good transitioning team, because you have to focus on that while getting back. Definitely being more physical underneath the glass is definitely going to help, especially like against a team like Benedictine, who's got more of a size advantage.
So early in that first half, we saw that Benedictine was having a ton of success down on the low block, using that size advantage. As the half went on, it looked like Concordia adjusted. The Cougars really tried to take that option away from the Eagles. The problem, though, was it opened up two things. The Eagles suddenly had open lanes to drive from outside and get near the basket, and those long two-pointers, we particularly saw Nate Shedd hit a couple of them late in the half, opened way up. So how do you think the Cougars can try to balance the two while still trying to be tough down low, while not just giving so much space on the outside to the Eagles to operate?
It definitely is hard. Being, again, player myself, like, it is hard adjusting to that and trying to figure out, like, where to be here, when, and everything like that. Definitely communication is key on that. It sounds so simple, but communication is key. Knowing your lanes, knowing their lanes, where they're going. One thing I noticed is Benedictine is doing a really good job of running their lanes right, left, middle. They know where they're going, and the Cougars need to pick up on that and know where they're going and while knowing where they are.
And a lot of things we saw, you and I talked about this before we came on here for our halftime spot. Thanks for joining us here at halftime if you are still here with us. If you didn't take a break, we appreciate that. This game, especially early, a lot of transition, a lot of fast breaks, which was kind of a catch-22 because looking at the stats, Benedictine turned the ball over more in that first half than Concordia did. There was a lot of rushing, but they often had the benefit of a 3-on-2-man advantage, which was too often the result of the Cougars taking really early, not great shots and not putting themselves in a position to get back on defense. But there at the end of the half, we saw them set up a half-court offense and be able to get back more in time. And, of course, then there's the added energy boost of when you've hit a shot, especially when you go 10 minutes without one. When you hit that shot, it's such a big boost of energy. What do you think Coach Steve Kohler is telling the guys in the locker room right now? How can they take that energy they finally sparked at the end of the first half and carry it through this break and bring it back out to start the second frame?
I do know Coach Kohler is really good at firing the guys up. He'll get in there. He'll get in your face. He's intense. He's an intense guy, just talking to him. With the way that Kenta ended that half with 2 threes, I mean, that energy in itself is going to be able to transfer really well, especially with the guys going in there and hyping him up about that. Hoping to build up that confidence for both Kenta and the team. And like I said earlier, bench has a huge part in this game. Everybody, like even in the stands, energy and effort. You can't teach either, but it helps the game so much more than you think.
They've got up to a 13-point lead. It's down at 9 right now. If you are looking at this Concordia team right now, what do you think the number one thing they've got to focus on in this second half if they want to keep cutting down that deficit?
Running the ball, but also being patient. Like, getting the ball out of the hoop and running the lanes like Benedictine's doing a great job of knowing their lanes and running them and getting that look up, but also being smart and not hitting the first shot that's open, because more times than not, it's not going to be a great shot.
Yeah, that extra pass could be key for the Cougars in this second half. A quick look at the stats. First for Benedictine, leading them in points is Nate Shedd off the bench, as we mentioned. He's got 7, then followed by Chris Hester with 6 and a couple players at 5. For Concordia Chicago, total points, leader right now is Emmanuel Wilson with 7, but he's got foul trouble he's got to watch out for in the second half. Already 3 against him. Kenta Jones has 6. No other player, though, with more than 3. We talked about Kenta Jones and the impact he had at the end there. Is he the player you're watching most in the second half, or who are you going to have your eye on to make the big difference for the Cougars if they want to win this game?
Definitely Kenta Jones. Emmanuel, also great contributor. Yeah, he's getting in a little bit of foul trouble, but I think he's positioning himself very well in the paint. Some of those calls I definitely disagree with, but that's just the way the ball rolls.
Benedictine shooting 57% from the field in that first half. Concordia's got to just hope that number comes down by sheer odds and that hot shooting streak doesn't continue. Concordia, on the other hand, did get up to over 35%. Not great, but heading in the right direction, which they'll look to keep up in the second half. We will be back in just a few minutes. Second half of this one between the Cougars and the Eagles right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
We'll begin the second half.
And welcome back. Second half about to get started here at the Geisman Gymnasium on the campus of Concordia University Chicago in River Forest, Illinois. Thanks so much for joining us this evening and spending the start of your weekend with Cougars basketball. I'm Alex Campbell alongside the Cougars' very own Macy Klein. And Macy, going into this second half, you talked about at halftime how Kenta Jones provided that spark, and he's going to have to kind of be that spark plug again here as this game continues if he's going to be the guy who can knock down those shots.
Absolutely. He was hot when we left. Let's see what he's got now.
Benedictine starting with the ball on the floor for them. It is Johnson, Montiel, Kyle Grabner, Kosic, and Hester. Original starters also return for Concordia. Montiel down low, backdoor knocked away by Dwayne Burns Jr. What a good defensive play there. Burns Jr. giving it up into the lane, goes Matthews off the glass for two. Good defense and a good transition possession. Exactly what the Cougars needed to start this second half. Johnson back on point duty now as he was to start this game. Backing away, shooting over Riddell and hitting.
Michael Johnson for two. 35-26 Eagle.
Eagles by 9. Both teams scoring on their opening possession in the second half. Riddell heading for the lane and a foul on the floor. Our first of the second half will be called on number 20, Trevor Montiel.
Follows on the Eagles, number 20, Trevor Montiel. His first.
It is Montiel's first, the 6'5 freshman, who was on fire to start the game, but we didn't see him as much involved as the half went on. Open for three, Wilson, no good. Rebound pulled out by Matthews. Kenta Jones, fresh possession here. Back out, Jones fakes the three. Into the lane, nowhere to go. 11 still to shoot for the Cougars. Matthews, 7 to shoot. Matthews charging hard down the lane off the glass, gets the roll. 4 points already here in the second half for Jordan Matthews, the junior from Chicago. Kosic handing off for Johnson. Johnson in the corner, up top. Hester. Grabner. Knocked away again there by Burns. Able to maintain possession for the moment, though, the Eagles. 5 to shoot. Hester in the lane off the glass and good. Just put his body up into Isaac Riddell, and not much that Riddell could do there. Riddell, though, quickly the other way, into the lane. Gets Montiel up in the air, goes over him and scores. Excellent recover there by Isaac Riddell.
Eagles 37, Cougars 30.
And the offense is both coming out rolling here, as that's initially knocked away by Kenta Jones. We're seeing some really good hustle on these first few possessions from the Cougars.
Energy definitely picked up from the first half. We'll see if we can keep it going.
37-30. Again, a lead that was as large as 13. The Cougars at one point led by 4, and that was when things started to go the other way. It's a foul, and Johnson will go to the free throw line. Foul's called on number 30, Dwayne Burns. That is his third. Johnson to the free throw line. It's the first. He was 4 of 5 from the line in their opening game of the season. So far tonight, 3 of 4 from the line. Hits them both. Back to a 9-point lead. And Macy, this is a situation, I think, where Concordia's just got to focus on their play. They can't worry too much about the scoreboard. They have to know it's going to take time to chip away at that lead.
Yeah, they just have to make sure that they don't get caught up with the pace that Benedictine is setting for them. They got to slow down and play their game.
Kenta Jones off the mark there from long range. Johnson, Grabner pulls up for 3, no good. Rebound uncontested to Jordan Matthews. Other way now come Concordia. Cougars looking to get set up. Wilson. Baseline, cutting to the middle. Looking back door. Matthews had it, then he didn't, and it falls off his back into the hands of Hester. Concordia winning the turnover battle so far in this game, but they're going to have to be almost perfectly clean if they want to win this one. Graebner now right wing. Graebner inside, bounce pass. Hester between two defenders, knocked away. Hester again gets his own rebound and puts it back in.
Chris Hester.
Like we talked about before, Benedictine is doing a really good job of getting second opportunity shots. The Cougars just got to put a body on somebody and get that rebound.
Especially can't be allowing a second chance to the guy who took the initial shot. Burns in, was looking for the pass. Hester knocks it away. Graebner handing back to Hester. Down the lane. Hester over defender. A lot of contact. Offensive foul. Going to be called on Hester. And a selfless play there by Isaac Riddell. As we mentioned, a guy who is in a position to be a leader as a junior, not only because of his age as an upperclassman, but he's just got a lot more minutes under his belt in his Concordia career than a lot of his teammates. Second foul of the half against Benedictine, and Concordia would love to keep working on that number. Get themselves to the free throw line as we saw Benedictine in the double bonus by the end of that first half. Cutting in the lane here is Bishop Green off the glass and good. Mainly a defensive presence in the first half, but excellent there to drive to the lane, and it's a full timeout, 30-second timeout called by Benedictine as the lead back at 9. And so far in this second half, Benedictine not being allowed to get any further away. Concordia keeping them at that same length, at least for now.
This will be a full timeout.
Sorry, some audio issues there on our end. But yeah, Concordia only down 9 still. Been able to hold that number here for the last few minutes. So that's a positive so far on the defensive end. They're at least keeping up for now. 15:58 to go here in the second half. All right, sorry, we had a brief technical difficulty there, but I think we've got it all sorted out. Just over 4 minutes played here in the second half. Eagles 41, Cougars 32. Seeing a little more defensive pressure here from the Cougars. Matthews all the way up the floor here. Michael Johnson. Graebner. Already 15 seconds left on the shot clock, and a reaching foul called on Joel Childers. No. They're going to say it's going to go the other way. And it's going to be a push-off called against Nick Kosic. Kosic is first. Another foul there, so there's three almost halfway to the bonus already here in less than 5 minutes. Justin Greenlee running the point here has checked into the game for Concordia. Greenlee up against Graebner, spinning in the lane, kicking, catch, shoot, Childers for three, too strong, rebound.
Those are those one-and-done shots that you just got to be patient on.
Graebner taking his time here on the right wing. Looking inside. Hester's got position, kicks out, wide open for three. Kosic, no good. Rebound brought down by Bishop Green.
Cougars have definitely picked up on their rebounding.
Bishop Green thought about going all the way, but I think lost his dribble just slightly. Backdoor, off the glass and good. Nice play. Bishop Green to Matthews for two. William Bishop Green starting to fill up the stat sheet on his Cougars debut with an assist on that one. Johnson, free throw line. Hester, too strong. Johnson gets the rebound, ball loose, knocked away on the ground and taken back by the Cougars. Well done to not give up on that play defensively. Bishop Green ahead, Childers, back for Bishop Green, kicking, corner, driving the baseline is Burns, lost the handle. Quickly, though, getting back on defense of the Cougars. Better than we saw often in the first half. Kosic runs out of room, and he traveled. 7-point game now, and the Trolls, excuse me, not the Trolls, it's a different team, the Cougars, mixing up my basketball responsibilities there.
For both teams, those baseline drives are really getting open opportunities on the perimeter. We just got to knock down those shots.
Emmanuel Wilson with his 3 fouls is back in the game. Down low, this is Burns. Outside, Wilson into the lane. Running out of space though, got to go somewhere. Finds Greenlee, 10 seconds to shoot. Childers fake the shot, and we've got an offensive foul as Childers went into Hester. And so the foul is called on Childers this time. That's his first.
Offensive foul is on number 5, Joe Childers, his first, team's second.
And Childers will go to the bench, and Isaac Riddell will replace him. Even more so than continuing to pick things up on offense, the Cougars will know defense will be the primary objective in this game the rest of the way. That is Hester turning for position down low. Foul, though, first was called on Dwayne Burns Jr. And he will depart and be replaced by Schmidt.
Number 30, Dwayne Burns, his fourth.
That is Burns' fourth. As the fouls slowly start to pile up, back in comes Nate Shed. He had an excellent first half.
And number 34, Mason
Also checking in is Mason Sobiesk for his first minutes of the night. He will give Trevor Montiel a break. Johnson inbound to Sobiesk. Kosic looking down low, goes across. Shed, baseline.
Little bit of a mismatch inside.
Yeah, we see often that Kenta Jones seems to get matched up with guys twice his size. 3 from the corner, no good for Shed. Rebound by Riddell. Cougars another chance, to shrink the lead. Riddell. Jones. Wilson. Wilson into the lane, kicking outside, around now, corner. Schmidt. He'll try to drive the baseline, nothing there. Matthews. Wilson around. Riddell for 3, no good. Rebound fought for, ends up with Shed. Shed charging the other way. Hester back to Shed and a foul. Shed goes down hard. Looks like he's going to be all right. Foul's called against Isaac Riddell, his third. Shed to the line to shoot 2. And we're going to see a couple subs here for the Benedictine Eagles. Looks like Grabner, and can't see his other teammate there, as Shed is off the mark on the first free throw. Sorry, you were going to say a minute ago? So I cut you off during that last offensive possession.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Game is moving real fast as
It really is.
Riddell goes back to the bench. And it is Cade Ellingson who is joining Keegan Grabner in the game now for Benedictine as Shed hits the second free throw. Lead now back at 8 points. Kenta Jones gets the screen. Wilson trying to slice into the lane. He does off the glass. Foul is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be on the floor, 2 shots. It is going to be 2 shots here for Emmanuel Wilson. Sobiesk picks up his first foul.
2-shot foul at the line is number 23, Emmanuel Wilson.
Emmanuel Wilson, 6'2", freshman from Wheaton, Illinois. A little ways south of here. Back into the game is Gabe Elias as he gives a break to Jordan Matthews. Elias has come the furthest here of any of the guys on the floor tonight to Concordia, all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Down to a 6-point game now. Closest it's been in quite a while. Shed, slicing, dicing, gives it up. Long pass out here in front of Wilson. Wilson will go all the way and lay it in. Emmanuel Wilson, coast to coast. 4-point game.
Just over 12 minutes remaining.
Intensity on both sides is really picking up now. This is going to be a good game.
Ellingson driving to the basket. The runner off the glass is good. Nice answer there from Kate Ellingson. Quieting the Concordia bench, if just for the moment. Almost a backcourt violation there. Elias has got to be careful. A lot of pressure here on Jones. Guarded by Greenlee. Jones spinning away. Jones down the lane, takes the contact off the glass and gets the layup to go. What an effort play by Kenta Jones.
There's the energy we've been waiting for the whole game.
And even though you got a lot of guys on the bench who can't play, it's a nice bench mob cheering section as that three is in and out. Other way comes William Bishop Green. Bishop Green, 3-on-2 if he hurries. Wilson for three, no good. Rebound. Sobiesk pulls it down. If that had gone in, it would have been the loudest the gym's been all night. Nice defense by Bishop Green, knocking that one away from Hester. Change is coming for Benedictine.
Number 3, Anthony Lynch. Number 20, Trevor Montiel. And in for the Cougars, number 1, Justin Greenlee.
Greenlee back in for the Cougars. Anthony Lynch into the game for the first time tonight, and he gets the ball. Montiel also back in. Here he is, working on Bishop Green and slicing his way to the basket. Nice move by the freshman.
Eagles lead 46-40.
Both teams trading jabs right now, back and forth. Greenlee handing off. Wilson in the lane. Late kick. Bishop Green, we got a foul on the floor. It's too bad because that was an incredible pass there by Wilson to find a wide open William Bishop Green. The shot will not count, however. It's a foul on the floor. Subs coming in for Concordia. It's a moment where I wish basketball had a continuation rule like you see in soccer, where if a foul is committed but the play continues in the offense's advantage, you let the play finish before you bring it back for the foul. Unfortunately, Concordia does not get the basket here. They do get an additional foul called against the Eagles.
Oh, absolutely. Those plays are so frustrating.
There's a beautiful pass, too, as now it's knocked away. Lynch, open floor. Wilson getting back. Wilson with the block or the contact. No goaltend and no foul. The other way we go. Matthews, Wilson. Matthews. I think Lynch just might have anticipated more contact than there was in the end. Things a little sloppy here, both ends, as here comes Shed. Spinning in the lane, nice move, Shed off the glass and good. Shed, every time he's got the ball, looks like he's sprinting down a mountain.
Shed, every time he gets the ball, he's on a mission.
It's like he's hopping in between steps. He's not. Elias, long three, no good. And it's one of those shots from the first half that's just not a high-quality shot. And Concordia can't settle for those. But Elias, I thought he had the offensive foul, but he's going to be called for a block.
Good position, though.
I like the idea, wanting to make up for the missed shot on the other end. They're going to say it is a shooting foul, though, and 2 shots upcoming for Anthony Lynch, the junior from South Elgin. Back iron on the first. Changes for both sides. Number 24, Colin Mergel checks in. First time we've seen him in the second half. Meanwhile, Kenta Jones and William Bishop Green check in for Concordia. I didn't even notice that Bishop Green left. As Lynch hits the second. Lead back up to 9. So the Cougars made some progress there, but it feels like it's kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back here. They got to find a way to get some momentum back in their favor.
Absolutely. They came into the game hot, ready to play, ready to hustle, great energy. They just got to keep it up.
Passing all the way around here.
Great ball movement.
Green for three. It's short. Picks up his own rebound, though, along the baseline. Finding Riddell. 15 to shoot. Kenta Jones slicing down the lane, kicking all the way around. Greenlee traveled.
Got a little too excited there, but great ball movement done by the Cougars.
Another substitution. As checking in here is number 23, Kyle Grabner. Another half here, Macy, where we haven't seen a lot of stoppages. We're already more than halfway through this second half. The offense was good, especially in the opening few minutes, and both coaches fairly content, I think, with what they've seen from their teams.
Absolutely. Both teams have really picked up the intensity. Cougars are still in this game, only down by 9.
They fought back to as little as 4. They did it once. They'll know they can do it again, as that one just got away from Grabner, and it's a turnover to the Cougars. And, man, Coach Bunkenberg not happy about that. Bunkenberg's team only lost 1 game in conference over a 2-year stretch from 2015 to 2017, so incredibly high standards on this Benedictine squad. Riddell down the lane off the glass and good. Nice quick step and cut to the basket by Isaac Riddell. Grabner. Mergel. Shed now. Open for 3. Grabner, it's good. Big shot, Kyle Grabner from downtown. He was 0 for 4 from beyond the arc last game. As he takes this one away, almost had a wide open 3 again, but had a teammate get in the way. Mergel, backdoor, Shed on the block, adjusting, not quite. Rebound fought for. Bishop Green comes up with it.
Benedictine's definitely picking up the pressure. They know they're catching up.
It's a 10-point game now. Benedictine doesn't want it any closer. Bishop Green looking down low, wide open, easy 2 points again. Jordan Matthews, those two developing a nice connection here. Timeout, Cougars. It's an 8-point game right now. Full timeout, we will take a break. The Cougars chipping away at the Benedictine lead, 7:53 to go. Can they turn it around? Welcome back, 7:53 to go here from Geisman Gymnasium. Alex Campbell, Macy Klein with you, and a reminder that you can join us back here tomorrow night. Both the women's and men's teams in action tomorrow. Macy and I will be with you on the call for a repeat of this game between Benedictine and Concordia. This is how the conference is doing things this year with the condensed schedule, just the emphasis on getting every conference game in they can. So they're playing these in pairs to really, by the end of the year, have a proper seeding so that when you go into the conference tournament, you feel like you've got a good assessment of
Absolutely.
what everyone's accomplished this year, where the teams stack up against each other here in 2021. So we hope that you'll join us for those games tomorrow night. Montiel, Grabner. Back inside, Montiel up against Bishop Green. That's a great defensive matchup. Foul called, and I didn't think Bishop Green did anything wrong there. If anything, I thought they might have called this on Matthews, but they're going to get Bishop Green for it. That's his 4th, which is really too bad. He's been the Cougars' best defender tonight, the freshman, having an excellent debut here.
Absolutely.
And he will, as expected, go to the bench. Isaac Riddell comes back. William Bishop Green doesn't even necessarily look 6'5" from a distance, but one of the things that makes him a good defender, he's really lanky. He's got those long arms and legs, get in those passing lanes, and even match up well with players who are bigger than him.
Absolutely.
Montiel from the free throw line leaves it short. I'm sure, though, that Coach Kohler will be working over the next couple of years with William Bishop Green on putting on a little more muscle and adding to his lankiness a little more strength. But, hey, he's only, 18 years old, so he's got time.
He's got plenty of time. Got a couple years.
Kenta Jones backing away. Outside here for Burns. Burns took a step. Kind of possessions, those empty possessions, Concordia cannot afford with 7:14 to go and a 9-point deficit. Michael Johnson back running point here for the Eagles. Johnson, Kosic. Kosic driving, nowhere to go, into the lane, all the way over to Graebner. I thought that was going to be dumped into the middle there for Ellingson. Underneath, Graebner kicking, corner, Ellingson, three, it's good! Big shot, Cade Ellingson from the corner. Shot almost 50% from three last season. He's a weapon from out there. Lead back up to 12. Kenta Jones provided a big spark in the first half. What can he do here? Handing to Wilson. Wilson. Riddell. Matthews around now for Burns. Burns will try to go to the rack himself. Can't quite get the finish. Rebound by Johnson. Sprinting the other way. Graebner. Catch. Shoot. Three. Back-to-back triples for the Eagles. Timeout Concordia. And all of a sudden the lead grows back to 15. The largest it's been all day. And just like that, the Eagles looking to put this game back out of reach. Another quick break here down the stretch. 6 minutes to go in this one. Thanks for spending your evening with Concordia basketball. Welcome back. 6:13 to go here. Alex Campbell, Macy Klein with you from Geisman Gymnasium. We were talking during the break, Macy. The Cougars got this so close. They were all the way down. They had worked from 13 down to 4 down, and suddenly in the blink of an eye, the lead is 15 for Benedictine.
Fatigue and tiredness can definitely kick in.
Wilson leaving that one short. Graebner the rebound.
But Concordia's got to do a better job of doing the little things so they aren't as tired. Matching those cuts, getting those rebounds, being more physical underneath the hoop. All those little things really add up to be one big thing.
We've seen Benedictine dip more and more into their bench in this second half, and that's definitely an asset to have more players. As I said, 19 total roster tonight for Benedictine to just 12 for Concordia. That's a foul, and to the line will go Kenta Jones. Checking back in is Dwayne Burns. Foul called on number 11, Cade Ellingson, his second foul. Neither team in foul trouble yet, but both are on 16 fouls, so one away from heading to the bonus as that free throw rims out from Jones. Checking out here is Emmanuel Wilson. Burns back in.
Kenta Jones can have one more free throw.
Dwayne Burns, the senior from Maywood, Illinois. We mentioned this was the first start of his career tonight. As Jones hits the second. So Macy, as we go down the stretch of this game, we mentioned we'll be back here tomorrow night for this exact same matchup. If you're the Cougars, what do you think they've learned? What do you think is maybe one of the bigger things they've learned tonight that they're going to take into tomorrow?
I think they're definitely going to understand more that they may not have the size advantage that they think they did.
Riddell, 3, no. And well done there by Burns to fight for the rebound. Loose ball picked up by Greenlee. 17 still to shoot. Plenty of time. It's certainly going to be an interesting study and adjustment from one day to another. Rarely do you see teams play games on back-to-back days, even more unusually against the same opponent. So we're going to see what both teams have learned tomorrow night as that's a turnover. One thing we've seen in the second half, Concordia's got to clean those up a bit.
They are learning each other's weaknesses right now. Obviously, watching through film, it's easier to see gaps and weaknesses in each team once they've played each other.
Montiel down the lane, no good.
But playing them back-to-back, that's going to be a good one tomorrow as both teams know each other's weaknesses.
Another turnover there as Riddell and Matthews not on the same page. Subs coming. Bishop Green is back in, as is Wilson, as Jones and Riddell head to the bench. With 4.5 minutes to go in this one, Eagles by 14. Cougars had a good, I'd say, first 3 or 4 minutes of this game. They had a good last 2 or 3 minutes in the first half. They had a really good, I'd say, 7 or 8 minutes to open the second half, but Benedictine has been full throttle for the rest of that time. Montiel, nice patience off the glass, and this time he gets the 2 points. He is certainly going to be a focus of some adjustments for the Cougars. He's been dominant down on the block in this game, the freshman Montiel. Matthews one way then the other. A lot of contact off the glass, and good. Count the basket. Foul is against number 10. That's Michael Johnson, his first. His second, excuse me. 3-point play opportunity for Jordan Matthews. Free throw, no good. Back iron. Rebound pulled down by Ellingson. Concordia now in the bonus. Montiel, Graebner. Graebner crossing over through his legs outside Ellingson. Back for Graebner, 12 to shoot. Graebner, nowhere to go. 8 to shoot. Catching, shooting for 3, comes up short. Loose ball will go back to the Cougars as Ellingson just couldn't find the range on that 3-point attempt. Isaac Riddell back into the game as Burns Jr. takes another seat with under 3.5. Greenlee. Wilson. Matthews. Up against Graebner. Matthews spinning, looking for teammates. Throws it over one teammate. Wilson there to pick it up and hit the 3. Not sure that was where the pass was supposed to go. Emmanuel Wilson with a nice shot. Clap in there, hoping to give his teammates a spark. Fight to the end here. 3 minutes to go. 11-point game. Johnson up the floor, through the press. Kosic all the way across. Ellingson down low. Montiel 1-on-1 with Bishop Green. Montiel favors himself in that matchup, and he finishes it with 2 more points.
Looks like the Cougars are rushing it a little bit to get a shot off.
Riddell, no, not quite. The 3-point shooting not there tonight for Concordia. 5 of 25 now from beyond the arc.
With 2:30 left in the game, the Cougars need to slow down and run their offense. Find that good shot. Not a 3. If you've got a layup, take it.
As that ball was, I think it was supposed to be a pass, but it just went off a defender. But yeah, Macy, to your point, this game looks like it's probably out of reach. And you want to be sure you're practicing good habits late in a game like this, even if you don't think you're going to come out on top, especially with a situation where tomorrow you're coming back to play this team again. It's almost like one big extended 80-minute game over 2 nights. And sure, you might be behind right now, but you got to start almost preparing now, at least mentally, for tomorrow.
Exactly. With this amount of time left on the clock and knowing that you play the same team tomorrow, use that to your advantage and let them know, like, you're not going down without a fight. Like, fight till the end, fight till that final buzzer goes off.
All right, another reminder, tomorrow night, Macy Klein and Co., the women's basketball team of Concordia University Chicago, at 5 o'clock, excuse me. Just make sure I have my date right, at tomorrow. Take on Lakeland University, and that will be followed up by the second half of this doubleheader tomorrow night. Just confirming the time on that. Don't want to give anybody wrong information. That first game at noon, second game to follow at 5 p.m. So noon and 5 tomorrow here on the Concordia University Chicago Cougars YouTube page. We hope to see you then. Nice play off the back, Greenlee. Yes, how about that? Pulling out the tricks. Justin Greenlee heads up play off the back. And in this situation, why not? Montiel.
Got to take all you can get right now.
No reason to not have a little fun. Graebner. A heads-up play there by one and white. Graebner spinning, fading away. Nice shot. Wow.
That's a good move.
Body control on the fadeaway by Kyle Graebner, the junior from Shanahan. Greenlee, what's he got this time? Bishop Green. Up against Montiel. He's not gotten the better of that matchup. That's knocked away. Still there. Loose ball. Greenlee in the lane. 2 more for Justin Greenlee. Timeout, Concordia. Full timeout. We will take one last break here with 1:32 to go. Cougars fighting to the end of this one.
Who knows?
Welcome back. 1:32 to go here in this one. 65-54, 11-point lead for Benedictine, who have led for most of this one. The Cougars led at 13-9. That was the best it ever got for them in this one. They did get a 13-point lead down to 4 points, but that lead then grew back to 15 for the Eagles, and that's where we stand now at an 11-point lead with just over a minute to play. Johnson burning up time here. 10 to shoot. Johnson down the lane, high off the glass, too high, and a foul. 2 shots upcoming for Johnson, who stayed down for a second here. Foul is going to be called against number 23, Emmanuel Wilson. That's his 4th. Johnson to the line, 2 shots.
2 shots for number 10, Michael Johnson.
And the second free throw, no good, knocked away. Cougars basketball. .106 to go here from Concordia. Matthews with the ball here for the Cougars. Allowed to go all the way around. It's last off of Shed, and it will be Cougars basketball to inbound with 21 still left on the shot clock. Back in comes Isaac Riddell. Matthews to inbound. Nowhere to go. Looking back for Kenta Jones, knocked away. Johnson fighting for it. Him and Jones all the way down the floor. Ball is out of play. Cougars ball. The shot clock never started there, though, so I'm not exactly sure where it's supposed to be. It currently says 21 seconds, but it's either got to be reset. Now the clock just ran. Shot clock got turned off. Now it's at 18. Okay. Wilson handing off. Matthews. Strong dribbles here. Down to the paint. Floater. No. Couldn't get it to go over Shed. And a foul. And I think they're going to get Kenta Jones for that one.
Fouls on number 15, Kenta Jones, his first teammate. At the line with 2 shots, number 20.
We are in the bonus here.
Shed.
And to the free throw line goes Nate Shed. Back in comes Dwayne Burns Jr. And the first free throw is good from Shed, stretching the lead to 13. There will be a 12-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock after the shot. As Shed makes them both. Substitution. Back into the game comes Keegan Grabner. And so him and his brother out there at the same time. .35 seconds to go. Here's Greenlee. Wilson will try a three. Too strong. Rebound by Montiel. Kyle Grabner, shot clock is off. He will slow things down. Benedictine going to pick up their first win of what is still a very young season. Just the second game of the season for both of these teams. Both came in 0-1. But a solid first W of the year for a normally strong squad in the NACC. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Johnson dribbles it out. The final buzzer sounds. And as the clock hits zeros, the final score, Benedictine 68, Concordia 54. Macy, your final thoughts here on what we saw tonight and what you're most looking forward to and going to be paying attention to tomorrow night.
Definitely a tough matchup. Cougars were down only by 4 at one point. So close. That's 2 baskets. Easy lead. It could have been an easy lead. They let up a little bit. Couldn't get the shots that they wanted to. Some weren't falling. Some fouls weren't getting called. We just got to focus on tomorrow and take those things that we messed up on today. Like I said, the little things, getting physical, boxing out, looking and running in transition, those things will look better for the game tomorrow.
We're going to take one last quick break here. After the break, I'll be joined by Concordia head coach Steve Kohler to break down the game and look forward to tomorrow.
Coming out tonight, make sure to check around your seat.
Welcome back here to Concordia University of Chicago. Again, the Cougars falling in a tough-fought battle against Benedictine, the first of two matchups between the teams this weekend. I'm Alex Campbell, now joined by Concordia head coach Steve Kohler. And, Coach, looking at that one, you guys fought really hard to get that game down to 4 points, and then all of a sudden it seemed like it slipped back away. What do you think allowed you guys to get the game that close, and then what changed to send things back not in your favor?
Yeah, so defensively, I mean, we were flat out getting after it, and we were kind of taking them out of what they wanted to do. That's why we were able to get in it and stay in it. And then we just had some ill-advised shots. We had some turnovers and then some poor shot selection that's basically a turnover, and they were getting out in transition, And then, I mean, those guys are veteran players. They hit a couple big-time threes, and, we couldn't get it back from there.
Yeah, there were a couple matchups that, looked like they posed a few problems, particularly looking at Montiel and Shed on Benedictine. When you're looking forward to the game tomorrow, what do you think are the main things you're going to be looking at, specifically with those guys, to try to contain them and not give them the freedom that they were able to find, especially down in that low block in this one?
Yeah, they did a great job going after that. Where we have some younger guys guarding there, and they're just getting too upright. He's got his dribble, and we're walling up. We've got to treat him like he has a dribble. So he's plenty, quick enough and has good enough feet to guard that. He's just got to make sure he's not standing straight up and down and then move his feet and wall him up. So obviously we got to do a better job on that. Shed hit some shots. He got going again. He's a big-time player from Rockford, so he's been there before. But we just need to continue to guard like the way we're guarding. I mean, I love how we're getting after it, And then offensively, we're just not in a flow. I don't know. You guys probably know. Was it 7 minutes till we scored? I think
it was about an 8-minute stretch.
Yeah,
there
so it was
half.
13 against DePaul. So we just got to get over that. And what we need to figure out is you don't end that with a home run. You end that with a great possession. And we're learning that. We'll get there.
Did certainly want to note a couple of your guys. First, particularly on defense, William Bishop Green tonight, in his debut as a Cougar, was everywhere defensively, ended up chipping in with some nice passes on the offensive end. What did you like about what you saw from number 3 for you guys tonight?
Yeah, what we told him is make an impact with your energy. Get up the line defensively, and he's an athlete, so fly around on the boards. And he made an impact with his energy, which is exactly what we were asking him to do. He's got a big-time skill set, and he'll settle in as he matures. But right now, he could just change it with his energy on the glass and defensively.
Another guy I wanted to highlight, Dwayne Burns Jr. He's a senior, made his first start of his career tonight. What did that mean for him? Why now? What kind of moment was that for him tonight, getting to be in the starting 5?
Yeah, he again, in our program, if you defend and rebound, you're going to get on the floor, and that's what Dwayne does. And so he's been doing well in practice. He's been a great teammate. We've wanted to see a little bit more leadership from him, and we've gotten it. And so, he earned that spot, and he just makes plays defensively. And he can make up for a lot of your mistakes as well, because he just has a knack for where he needs to be, so he disrupts.
And then finally, so again, 2021's an odd year. It's an odd schedule. We get to play these teams back-to-back.
Yeah.
For you as a coach, how do you approach that kind of situation when you talk to the guys after this game, knowing that less than 24 hours from now, you get another crack at these guys?
Yeah, well, as a player, I mean, if you don't play as well or you lose a game, what you want is you always want a chance to come back at it right away, and we get that opportunity. And then I think it's just about, watching that film and then making the adjustments that we need to make. What adjustments are they going to make? What are we going to make? And then who's tough enough to get it done?
Well, tomorrow night, 5 p.m., live from the Geisman Gymnasium. We'll do it all over again. Concordia against Benedictine. Coach Kohler, thanks for your time. And everyone, we hopefully will see you tomorrow night.